Good morning, everyone. It's me, Tommy Tutu, and I wanted to talk to you about hiking season. Now, I know it's January and it's still winter, and I've already got my Valentine's Day decorations up already, but I can't help but look forward to spring hiking. Now, there are good things and bad things about hiking in the springtime. One of the bad things is that rattlesnakes are actually more active in the spring than the summer. But then on the other hand, if you go hiking in the summer, you're more likely to have heat stroke and dehydration. So you got to kind of pick and choose, you got to weigh the pros and cons of each time. I personally prefer spring. I really do not like the heat. I know I'm a Californian, but I absolutely cannot stand the heat. So I do not go hiking in the summer. I only go in the springtime, and rattlesnakes are just part of the reality of hiking. So I got to just be extra careful. In fact, I'm going to show you some of the things I take along with me when I do go hiking. In fact, speaking of rattlesnakes, one of the things I take with me is a walking stick. And it actually helps my back, especially when I'm going uphill. But one of the important things about the hiking stick is that you can poke around in bushes and see if there's a snake there before you step over them. So that's actually a tool I use to help me with the rattlesnake problem I have to deal with. I go hiking in the morning. Sometimes I wake up as early as 5 a.m. to go hiking. And again, there are pros and cons with that. The pros for me is that there's no traffic on the freeway, and it's easier to find parking, and it's cooler in the morning. There is a bad thing about going hiking so early in the morning, is that mountain lions are still active in the morning hours, and they start to go to bed or start to hide around, daytime, but some of them still linger around in the morning, and that can be a problem. In fact, my biggest issue with hiking is wild animals. That's actually my biggest fear. So I have my stick to poke around for rattlesnakes, to just be extra careful. And last time I went hiking, actually last two times I went hiking, one time I came across a wolf, which scared the daylights out of me. I just backed off slowly. He was pretty good distance away from me when I noticed him. And I just backed off slowly. I started walking really fast. I didn't run to trigger his, hunting instinct. So I walked really fast away from him, and then when I was close enough to my cabin, then I just took off and sprinted. That was actually kind of scary. That was a big eye-opener for me. And then last time I just went hiking, which was just right after Christmas, there were mountain lion tracks, fresh mountain lion tracks in the snow, and I was all by myself. So that was another kind of a reality check. So I got to be careful, and I am careful. So let me show you what I take with me when I do go hiking. And this is why I don't like hiking alone. If anyone wants to join me, you're more than welcome to join me hiking. Just make sure you get up early, because I leave early. So the first thing I do take with me because of this is bear pepper spray. And I have it, as you see, I have it right here at the ready at all times, because like I said, the thing I fear most is wild animals. So I do have my bear pepper spray ready. Some experts say bear pepper spray is more effective than a gun. They say if you shoot a bear, you might just injure it and make it mad. But they say with the pepper spray, they say it works better. Some say it does. So I'll go with the pepper spray. And I am looking into, I do have my walking stick. They do sell on Amazon walking sticks. They also double up as a stun gun, which I'm looking into that right now. I think that'd be a great idea. Back up in case the pepper spray doesn't work. I walk over water a lot when I go hiking, so I don't know how waterproof they are. So that's a concern for me. That's something I'm going to research, though. So without further ado, let's get into the backpack and see what I take with me. The first thing I have on my backpack is a bear bell. So the purpose of a bear bell is that it makes noise when you're hiking alone. And bears are more terrified of people than we are of them, which I'm sure sounds pretty obvious, but it is true. They want to have nothing to do with humans. The only time a bear will attack you is if you sneak up on it or its cubs. And so if they hear you coming, you make a loud noise with the bear bell when you're walking, and they'll hear the bell and they'll be like, "Oh no, it's humans. Let's get out of here." If you're hiking with a friend, and you're talking really loud, then they can hear you talking, and they will they hear you and they get scared off. And speaking of which, that brings me to this. This is an air horn. I take an air horn with me to signal people in case I get lost. It's really loud. And I take this with me, in case I get lost and I need a signal for help. The thing about being attacked by a bear, though, is when you come across a bear, not all bears are scared of the sound of air horns. And the reason is because they've been so urbanized, they hear a lot of sirens of, like fire trucks and police cars. So bears actually aren't scared of, not all bears, some maybe, but not all are scared of loud, high pitched sounds like that. So if you do come across a bear, you gotta, you actually have to speak in English. You gotta say, hey, get out of here, you idiot, stupid bear. They recognize that that's human talk and they're scared of humans. So you have to actually enunciate when you scream at a bear, which is something I just recently learned when I was studying about wild animals, seeing how I came across a wolf and a mountain lion just recently. So, yeah, so I'm taking extra caution now against wild animals. So, yeah, so I got my bear bell, looking into getting a stun gun. So the air horn is just for signaling if I get lost. Oh, by the way, this is like overkill. I will probably never use any of these items. I just watch a lot of survival shows, and it's just fun. And like, oh, I should take that when I go hiking. Or I should take that when I'm out in the wilderness. Okay, so the first thing I've got here is I take a compass with me so I can find my direction if I get lost. And I've only been lost once. This here is water purifier. It's so if you're lost and you have to drink stream water or lake water, the purifier will kill all the contaminants in it, and you won't get, like Giardia or any other kind of waterborne illnesses. So that's to purify water. Okay, this right here is a saw. It's a wire saw, which I'll probably never ever use, but if I ever need to saw off a branch of a tree, that's what this is for, to saw tree branches. So I got a mirror, and the mirror is for signaling. If I get lost and I need a signal for help and the sun's out, I could use the mirror to try to signal people. Or if I bring a friend with me and we need to communicate from a long distance, that's what the mirror is for. Oh, next, I got a flint striker with a magnesium rod. The magnesium rod, you shave it off, and it makes I can't think of the term right now, but it heats up faster and it makes fire starting easier. I don't want to strike a flint striker to make a fire. I don't want to rub sticks together to make a fire. So realistically, I also take a cigarette lighter with me because I'm not rubbing sticks together. Okay. But it's there. It's just there, nice to have in case of the apocalypse, if there's a nuclear war, and one day that might be all I have. So I take that with me when I go hiking. Okay, so here's a trivial item: a book about flowers. Again, I don't always take with me. My backpack is really heavy, by the way. It makes it really hard to walk uphill when I have everything in the backpack. So I only take some of these things depending on which trail I go. But sometimes I'll take this with me, which is a flower book, and it's an encyclopedia of all the flowers in certain mountains, and I could look them up and learn the names of the flowers, which is something I really enjoy doing. Okay, next, I've got a mosquito net, or a net to keep bugs out, and I do need this. One time I went hiking at Heart Rock Trail. It was summertime, and there were just a million bugs everywhere. It was very bad. The amount of bugs, like if you took a photo with your phone, like if you saw something, you took a photo of it, bugs start landing on your phone and on your arms. It was bad. We had a really bad bug infestation one time, so I have to have this bug net with me. Okay, so this is an inflatable seat cushion. And so what this is, it's in case someone gets injured and you don't want to lie them down on the rock or the hard ground. Someone breaks a leg or twists an ankle or something, could set them that this blows up, and it's a soft cushion to set people on. So that's for first aid. Speaking of first aid, this is something I do take every time. I do take a first aid kit with me every time I go hiking. Not just for me, but if I come across someone else who's injured on the trail, it has gauze for animal attacks. It's got treatment for bug stings, band-aids, pain relief medicine, some stuff for burns. For skin rashes in case someone comes across poison ivy. And there's more poisonous plants than just poison ivy and oak. There's actually a lot more, which I just recently learned from my flower book. So yeah, so I got treatment for there. Okay, so this, let me see. Oh, got another mosquito net. Oh, of course, food. I have both. I try to keep it airtight because I don't want the smell to attract wild animals. You know I hate wild animals when I'm hiking, so yeah, I got to keep it really airtight because I don't want to come anywhere near another wolf or mountain lion ever again. Let's see what else do I got here. So I got the Mylar blankets. Again, I'm probably never going to use this, but if I got lost in the wilderness for a week or a month and I need to build shelter, and if it's cold or rainy, I got the Mylar blanket to keep me warm and covered at night. I got a poncho in case it rains. The only time I'll ever use this is if I get lost for a month and it starts raining, but otherwise it's so small, it's so light, I just take it anyway. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. And this is another one I don't take all the time, but walkie-talkies in case I go with a friend and we need communication. The places I go, there's no cell phone service, so I have walkie-talkies just in case. And speaking of no cell phone service, so this is a crank radio. You crank it. It's also got a solar panel on it. It's a flashlight, a radio, and it'll charge your cell phone too. So that's a plus. So yeah, that's good because there is no phone service out there. So crank radio. Rope to build shelter, build traps for animals. Again, probably never gonna use this ever unless I get lost out there for a month and have to hunt animals, but I really don't see that happening with me. But for you, it might happen. So there you go. Zip ties, which are amazing, helpful for building shelter. What do I got? Okay, so I got. Actually, this was a Christmas present someone gave me. It's not binoculars. It's a monocular. It's one, so I could see a far distance away. If I'm lost and you need help, I could maybe spot some people in the distance. You never know. Okay, I got a flashlight in case I'm stuck out in the dark. And actually, this flashlight, I actually found this one when I went hiking. So someone took a flashlight with them and lost it on their hike. So I went and recovered it. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so I got a tin cup, metal cup. And the reason why I have this, in case I need to boil water to drink. Now I do got my water purification tablets, but you know, those won't last me forever. If I'm lost or there's nuclear war and I have to live out in the wilderness, I got a metal cup to boil water in, and so I won't go thirsty. And speaking of, well, let's go with that one later. Okay, then I've got this. An axe for chopping down lumber to build shelter, build a raft. Again, something that I will probably never ever use, but it's nice to have. And and it's there for defense too, in case, like I said, I don't like bears and wild animals. I don't like them. So I've got this. Some experts say that this is your most important tool, which is your survival knife. Catch fish, you gotta fillet them. You catch a wild animal, you have to skin it. You need it to build shelter, for defense. Your knife is your most important survival tool. In fact, they say you need four things. You need fire, you need shelter, you need water, and you need food. But a lot of experts, and I agree with them, say the fifth thing you need is your survival knife. And mine comes with rope too. So again, build more traps, tripwire to make it a signal in case, someone's after you. Got a baseball cap, which is really just it works, coincides with the mosquito net. And finally, the last thing I take with me, the most important thing I take with me is water. And I take lots and lots of water with me every time I go hiking. Well, actually, I kind of know how much I drink, so I take just the right amount. Actually, I take extra, to be honest. But yeah, this is actually the heaviest item in my backpack, and this is what really weighs me down every time I go hiking. But it's completely worth it, you know. It's either, you know, struggle going uphill with a heavy backpack or, you know, die of dehydration or whatever. But anyways, so these are items I take with me when I go hiking. Again, I don't take them every time. Again, if I'm not going to be out that far, I won't take, you know, the axe, or if I'm by myself, I won't take the walkie-talkies. I'm not going to take the rope and zip ties every time I go hiking, or the air horn, or but it's nice to have these things. And you know, if I ever do go out like really far into wilderness, which I have before, where I've gotten really far out into the wilderness and there's no people for miles, then that's when I might need some of these things if I get lost or whatever, you know. But you're not going to see me on the news. You're not going to turn on the news one day and hear, oh my God, Thomas died when he went hiking. That's not going to happen with me. So, and all this assures that that's not going to happen. So anyways, so I just wanted to share with you what I take with me when I go hiking. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, but I'm used to it. I've done this a million times. And so anyways, springtime's coming. I'm going to go probably first week of March. I'm going to start going hiking. That's when the wildflowers start blooming in the desert. It's very amazing. I can't wait to see it. And I'm looking forward to that. And I hope you all have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful. I hope it relieves some anxiety you might have. For those of you who keep telling me, I was so worried about you because you hike so far. So I hopefully this helps calm some of that fear and anxiety. So, you know, I do go prepared. I don't just go willy-nilly all unprepared. And anyway, so the only thing I worry about is the wild animals. I can't do anything about the wild animals, and I don't do dangerous hikes either. If a hike is too dangerous, nope, it's not worth a broken leg. It's not worth a broken skull. I won't do dangerous trails. I just, you know, it's a hobby of mine. It's fun, and it's not worth my life, though. So I don't do dangerous trails, but I do fear the wild animals. That's what really gets me, is the wild animals. So I am prepared for the wild animals, and I'm looking to get more prepared, buy more defense products. So anyways, that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys join me sometime hiking this year, 2023. Can you believe it? Alrighty. So have a good day, everyone, and God bless you all.